In the emerald forests of Vrindavan, two boys were more than friends. They were like two halves of the same heart. One was Krishna, a prince with a peacock feather in his hair, and the other was Punya, a boy whose only riches were his laughter and his kindness. They spent their mornings listening to the secrets of the trees, and their afternoons dreaming of a world that would never change. They spent their days racing through the tall, swaying grass. Krishna always ran like the wind, his feet barely touching the earth. Whenever Krishna won, Punya would cheer the loudest. He didn't mind coming in second, because seeing his friend's happy face was the greatest prize he could ever imagine. One humid afternoon, the boys rested by the cooling waters of the Yamuna River. Punya reached into his small, worn cloth bag and pulled out a handful of wild, dark berries. "They are small," Punya whispered, "but they are the sweetest ones in the whole forest. I saved them just for you." Many years passed, and the winds of time took them on different paths. Krishna became a great king, ruling the magnificent city of Dwarka. His palace was built of shimmering white marble and gold, and he wore a crown that sparkled like 1,000 stars. He was a king loved by all, but his heart often felt very heavy. Back in the quiet woods of Vrindavan, Punya grew old. His hair became the color of soft moonlight, and his steps grew slow. Every evening, he would sit by the same banyan tree, humming the old tunes Krishna used to play. He had very little, but he felt rich, because his mind was full of beautiful memories of his friend. In the grand halls of his palace, Krishna was surrounded by jewels and powerful advisors. They brought him maps of vast kingdoms and chests of gold, but Krishna would often close his eyes and ignore the glitter. He would think of the smell of the rain on the forest floor and the taste of the berries his friend had shared with him so long ago. One bright morning, a royal messenger arrived in the tiny village of Vrindavan. He wore a uniform of fine blue silk and carried a staff made of polished silver. The villagers watched in silence as the messenger walked past the large houses and stopped at the smallest, most humble cottage at the edge of the woods. "The king of Dwarka has never forgotten his truest friend," the messenger said softly. He handed the silk parcel to Punya. Punya's hands shook as he took the gift. He could smell the faint scent of incense and the sea, but beneath it, he smelled something familiar, the scent of the forest after a summer rain. Inside the silk, there was no gold or silver. Instead, Punya found a single perfect peacock feather and a small wooden flute. Tucked into a corner was a small pouch of dried berries. It was a message that said, "I remember everything. Our friendship is the most precious thing I own." Far away in Dwarka, Krishna stood by his window as the sun set, turning the sky into a painting of gold. He felt a warm breeze on his face and smiled. He knew that across the world, his friend was smiling too. For a king may rule the world, but a friend's love is the only kingdom that lasts forever.